A new proposal introduced in the Ohio Senate today could allow concealed carry on college campuses. Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Savannah McCarthy.
And I'm Tyler Carey. House Bill 48 was introduced into the Ohio Senate today, bringing up the discussion of having concealed guns in areas like college campuses and daycares.
TV2's Chip Reed is live in the newsroom with more. Chip?
Very much, Savannah. Gun laws are always an area for debate, especially at a place where a lot of people are like in a college campus. The event that happened at The Ohio State University raised such questions again in the Buckeye State.
I'm uplifted by the many acts of heroism and bravery that we witnessed over the past 48 hours.
With the incident that occurred at The Ohio State University on Monday, gun laws at universities is a very hot topic. Ohio House Bill 48, which is in the Ohio Senate's hands today, could change campus gun laws if passed. KSU's Community Resources Officer Tricia Knowles explained to me the university's current gun policy.
We allow no guns on campus, and that also includes toy guns, airsoft guns. No guns are allowed on campus. If there's a person with a CCW permit that carries, when they come onto campus, it's part of the policy that they're to put their weapon in their trunk of their vehicle before entering a building.
If Ohio Bill 48 does pass, that would allow students on college campuses to carry concealed weapons. However, it is up to the college to allow them to do so. Knowles also shared with me what KSU will do if Ohio Bill 48 passes.
So even if that House bill were to pass, to my knowledge, our policy will remain the same. So there would be no change on campus as far as carrying a weapon.
So, according to Knowles, even though students will legally be allowed to have a concealed weapon, you won't have to worry about sitting around any people wielding a gun. So far, there's been 2 hearings about Ohio State Issue 48, and there has not yet been a ruling for or against. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Chip. Our correspondent Crystal Smith talked to Kent State today to hear their opinions about this bill. Crystal?
Thanks, Savannah. Kent State students seem to be split on whether or not having concealed carry throughout campus is a good idea. I asked them if this would solve or cause more of the already existing problems concerning gun control.
I would be a bit nervous because I just transferred here. I'm from New Jersey, and we're very strict with the guns. We don't allow them really anywhere besides for hunting, so it would be a shock for me.
I wouldn't have a problem with it because you have to go through specific training for that.
Concealed carry on campus is totally unnecessary because we have Kent State PD and Kent PD, and honestly, I don't know if I'm comfortable having people that I don't know be having their concealed carry that are constantly around me.
It'd take a turn, but also it could be good because some people, they want to have that protection, and just having that makes them feel safe. And I'm okay, that's cool. But also at the same time, it's
I'm gonna get my own gun soon. So I'm gonna prove myself because I don't trust anybody nowadays. Because now with the different killings here and there, I have to protect myself. The bill passed, I have to go get my own gun.
This bill will not only affect college campuses, but other public places such as churches and buses. Further details of this bill are in progress, but no voting date has been set. For TV2 News, I'm Crystal Smith.
Thank you, Crystal. Safety on college campuses is on many minds due to the attack at Ohio State University earlier this week. 11 people were injured in the attack when OSU student Abdul Razak Ali Artan rammed victims with a car and then cut others with a butcher's knife. Ohio State officer Alan Harushko fatally shot Artan after the attack began. 3 of the 11 people injured remain in the hospital. OSU professor William Clark was a victim in the incident, and he said he will not pass judgment until more facts are uncovered.
At this stage, until we really know all the facts, I prefer to hold judgment. He was an OSU student. He was from Somalia, but he's an OSU student, and having been a faculty member for 35 years, I'm only too aware of the things that drive students sometimes to do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do. And so, before I pass judgment on this young man, I would like to see exactly what the circumstances are and exactly why he took the course of action that he chose to.
And meanwhile, today in Washington, the Secretary for Homeland Security gave a statement regarding the claim the OSU attack was linked to terrorism. He said the indicators right now are that this was an act committed by someone who was self-radicalized.
At this stage, we see no direct links to a terrorist organization. At this stage, we see no communications direct communications with a terrorist organization overseas by this individual. There is the Facebook posting that Jane mentioned, but the FBI and others are combing through every piece of evidence that we can find about this individual right now. And so the investigation is still very much open.
And President-elect Donald Trump tweeted out his thoughts on the Ohio State University attacker this morning. He says Artan from Somalia, quote, should not have been in our country.
However, Artan was a legal resident of the United States as well as a student at Ohio State University. TV2's Taylor Coleman joins us now with more. Taylor?
Thank you, Tyler and Savannah. President-elect Donald Trump tweeted that ISIS is taking credit for the terrible stabbing attack at Ohio State University by a Somali refugee who should not have been in our country. After I shared the tweet with students, this is what they had to say.
I think Donald Trump has been very irresponsible with social media accounts in general. I think his main problem is that he's very quick to have his words out there.
I feel that it's wrong. You can't blame every single thing that happens in America on ISIS. I think it's unfair to the immigrants here because it makes them feel like they're criminals or makes them feel like they don't belong here, and they do, because we're all immigrants here if you think about it.
They probably feel like discriminated against more because they are being blamed for something that they have no control over. People stereotype them as terrorists or like equivalent to doing things like this.
As one student told me today, this has not just affected immigrants or refugees, but everyone in our country. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Taylor. Developing story out of Ravenna, where police are searching for a suspect after a shooting on Henderson Road earlier this afternoon. A man is dead and a woman is injured following the shooting. The incident occurred close to Ravenna High School, which was placed on lockdown for about 30 minutes. The Ravenna Police Department are asking residents to stay indoors. We'll keep you updated as more details come in. All right, staying local, the Portage Medical Center Foundation awarded a $1 million grant to support UH Portage Medical Center's renovation project. This is the largest grant the foundation has ever given. It will encourage community members to give other amounts to the hospital or to help the hospital achieve its goal of $2.5 million. The renovation will give UH Portage Medical more waiting areas for pediatric patients, as well as those struggling with mental health and addiction. And the city of Streetsboro will provide pay raises for about a dozen department directors and non-union employees. The raises range from 2% to 23%. Streetsboro City Council approved the increases 5-2. City Mayor Glenn Broska says he proposed the raises to put city employees in a competitive pay range. However, some city council members are saying the city will not be able to afford the higher pay.
A church that has been in Ravenna for 50 years will soon be replaced. The city's planning commission approved plans to tear down the St. Paul Lutheran Church and build a new structure in its place. The existing building will be demolished once a new church is made. Its chief architect says the building will cost nearly $1 million and hold 250 people. And the Ohio State Senate started hearings on Tuesday to sell many of the state's existing prison farms. Senate Bill 364 will allow for the sale of 30 state-owned properties. The legislation also includes 7,400 acres of farmland formerly run by prisoners. The bill's language could also allow the sale of an East Liverpool building that is currently owned by Kent State University. Now, Tyler, it was sad today.
Why?
It was because it was warm, but it was gray, and I just don't do well with gray
at least
weather.
It's warm, though. I mean, the weather's really been all over the place. We were in the 30s, now we're in the 50s. I think it might go back
to
down.
like the 40s. I don't understand. But, you know, we live in Ohio, so I guess that can't be too weird at this point.
At this point, probably not. Well, Francesca Barrett, our weather anchor, is going to join us now with a look at our first forecast. Francesca, how are those temperatures going to look in the coming weeks?
Thanks, Savannah and Tyler. Well, to answer your question, I definitely think the weather is still going to be jumping up and down. If we take a look into most of our area of Ohio, we're going to be seeing the weather's going to be a little bit different. Columbus is down at 59. We're going to see Athens at 58. Steubenville is 57, and Akron's at 56. Let's take a look now in Northeast Ohio. We're going to be seeing Youngstown 55. Kent, we're going to also be seeing 55. Cleveland 54. So our weather is still jumping around. We're still seeing some cold weather coming in through us. We're going to be seeing a little bit more of showers and a lot more gray clouds, as Savannah said. Let's take a look at currently in Kent right now. We're going to be seeing just a little bit different. 55, and it feels like 52 mainly because of this wind, and there's no sun. We didn't see any sun today, giving us that gloomy, almost sad feeling. Dew points 52, and our wind, there was no wind, so it kept it a little warm, but we'll just have a great night tonight. Back to you guys.